Hi again, this is Dr. Andrea LaFountain, your own personal psychologist and theologian. Welcome to the series that we're doing on mother-daughter relationships. Today we're going to talk about healing. There will be hurts in any relationship, whether it's mother-daughter, mother-father, siblings, even within that beautiful intimate relationship of a spousal husband-wife relationships. There's hurts. Hurts are all around. Wherever there are two people, there's going to be hurts. So it's part of life. Now, we need to move into healing with these hurts. So I want to talk in two different ways here. First, I'm going to give you some tips for mothers helping the healing of an adult daughter. And then I'm going to talk to the adult daughters, tips for yourself in healing a relationship that went awry with your mother. I'm not talking about mothers' healings, but you can just transpose what you want from this into that and it should work fine. First of all then, the mother to daughter relationship. So this is now an adult daughter, and the reason why I'm focusing it on adults is the healing that we need usually isn't apparent until we become adults and we've kind of accumulated the baggage from our formative years and hurts that have been gathering over the years. They settle into us, and then we're in other adult relationships and they begin to emerge, and we realize, oh wow, yeah, I have some baggage here I need to deal with. So I'm assuming then that the daughter now is grown up and has been hurt, and now we need a path to healing. So first up, I'm addressing the mothers of those adult daughters, because you are instrumental in your daughter's healing, even though they are now, an adult and standing on their own 2 feet. They could even be in their 40s or 50s or even 60s. So if you do have an adult daughter and you feel there may be some hurts there, here's what I'd like you to think about. First of all, you have to have empathy, acknowledge their hurts, don't deny them. I'm happy for this new word in our dictionaries, gaslighting, which just puts the name to you are refusing to acknowledge what I'm telling you here. So that's gaslighting. Don't gaslight your daughters if they do come to you and express some hurts from the past. Listen to them. Don't defend yourself. This is not a time for your own justification. This is a time for you to listen with compassion with your daughter. Now, if your daughter isn't outspoken and doesn't come to you with these hurts, but you've noticed there's something compromised in your relationship, you might just want to take some quiet time to yourself to try and understand what might those hurts be. But assuming they've been vocalized, acknowledge that they are hurting, acknowledge that, absolutely own it, have some empathy. Now, step 2, once you've acknowledged those hurts, is to apologize. I know we don't like to do that anymore. I don't know why people have such an issue with apologizing. It does not demean your personhood at all to apologize. So go ahead and apologize. Now, the apology might be something like, wow, I had no idea that you felt that way. I didn't realize that you were hurt by that. I don't even remember that happening. And then you could say, if you genuinely were a loving mother, and I'm assuming that 99% of you were, you can even say, please know that my parenting, even though it wasn't perfect, was always motivated out of my love for you. Please understand that. Please know that my intentions were always for your good. If that's true, go ahead and say that. But nonetheless, we aren't perfect parents. Hurts come about. So you can make that explicit. Yeah, I'm sorry I hurt you. I did not realize that. Now, if you're not to pull away the apology, you can't say, I'm sorry, but I never intended to do that. You can say, I never intended to do that. Please understand my love for you. I understand you were hurt and I am sorry for that. You know, never follow an apology, a sorry with a but. You know, my kids used to say, I'm sorry, but. I used to say, I'll give you a sorry, but. You know, to follow an apology with a but completely removes the apology. Don't kid yourself. There is no apology if you are excusing it. It is an excuse and not an apology. Don't make an apology an excuse. Just own it and apologize for it. And thirdly, this is another thing we don't like to do, ask for forgiveness. You know, asking for forgiveness, some people find that difficult. The reason why we find that difficult is pride. So if you're finding it tough to say, can you please forgive me? You want to do a stock check on your pride. I can guarantee you if those words aren't coming freely off of your tongue, there's too much pride there. So get rid of the pride and ask for the forgiveness. So in all, it goes something like, you know, sweetheart, I had no idea that that's how you felt. Please understand that my parenting was naive. I tried my best. I really did not mean to hurt you. I am very sorry that you are hurt. Can you please forgive me? That will go 1,000 miles toward your daughter's healing. So please, please do that. Say that if you haven't already. So it can be as simple as you take them out for lunch. You don't need to belabor it. It doesn't need to be a 3-hour-long, you know, sobbing conversation. You can go out for a nice lunch or even a cup of coffee and have a 10-minute conversation. Now to the adult daughters. Again, it's focused on your healing, but what you can do. Now, your healing is only up to you. It doesn't matter whether your mother apologizes or not, or asks for forgiveness or not, or even recognizes that they have hurt you or not. Your healing is fully in your camp. You own it. Now, of course, it helps tremendously if the perpetrator can acknowledge that. Whatever the relationship is, I know we're focusing on mother-daughter now, but any healing that you need to do is owned and managed, and it rises or falls based on you. So here's what you can do to help navigate in your healing there, in your mother and daughter relationship. First of all, realize that your parents are not infallible. You know, they're not superhuman. They don't have any more superpowers than you or I. They will fail somewhere along the lines of parenting. That's a guaranteed. So, you know, they didn't get the book either. None of us had parenting classes. They didn't even have the internet. We can Google how do you manage something, or what do these symptoms represent, whether it's ADD in our kids or they're on the spectrum. They didn't have that. So I guess the conclusion here is have some compassion for them. Have some compassion for them. Step 2, similar to the advice I was given the mothers, is forgive them, whether they ask for forgiveness or not. Now, there's a big misconception in forgiveness. A lot of people think, I can't forgive that because it was so horrible. It doesn't matter how horrible something is. You can still forgive it. That's not to say that you'll forget it. You may remember this for the rest of your life. But forgiveness is neither condoning it. So when you forgive somebody, you can say to them, or you can not say anything to them, but just in your own heart say, okay, even though that was egregious to me, it was an affront to me, I'm still going to forgive them. And I can guarantee you that your healing will be so much more successful if you've managed to forgive. St. Augustine said, unforgiveness or resentment was like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. That's how toxic unforgiveness is. So get that out of you. You will not receive healing if you don't forgive. Those two concepts are so interwoven. I can promise you that if you're stuck in your healing, it might be forgiveness that is the issue. Now, again, you don't have to say to them, I forgive you for the hurts you've done. They may not even realize that they have hurt you. But you say to yourself, I am going to forgive them for the hurts that I've done. And that will release you from any bondage that has anymore. And that's part of the healing process. So that's the two remedies there, compassion and forgiveness. And if you need to put up boundaries, go ahead and put up boundaries. Like if the bleeding is still happening, then healing is very difficult. So if it is a genuinely toxic relationship, like I've spoken about before, don't be putting up boundaries for things that are hurts, not to minimize them, but hurts that are not threats to your dignity or your safety. You don't need to put up a stonewall boundary. But if they are threats to your dignity or your safety, then put the boundary up to stop the bloodletting and then move into your other two parts of healing, which is the compassion and the forgiveness. So I hope there's some helpful tips for you in that, and you can apply these to any relationship. So hopefully that will help you along on your healing process. God bless.